What is up, guys? Ooh, we have some desk mic stuff. Let's see. Turn that off. Turn that off. Hopefully that sounds a lot better. Welcome. Turn that down. We need that. Every time that I think I'm going to start this good, I end up not starting it that great. So let's have like a little bit of music playing. Just a little bit. I always need to go through before I even start one of these things and just like completely check and make sure everything's good. Because if I don't, it's usually not good. So just a little. Okay, so let me make sure this is okay. We'll be listening. I'll be listening, making sure everything's okay today. So if you don't know me, my name is Richard from How's My Living. And normally for us, what we do is we travel around and find fun things to do for the family. And today's fun thing is a hurricane. And that's what we're going to do. So I got a couple of cool things that we can do. I got my phone so we can actually go outside and experience the hurricane together. As a family, we can experience the hurricane. This is not our normal one. We do dad chat, and dad chat's pretty fun, but this is not dad chat. So you probably will see Tiffany. You will see, actually, Remy is right behind me. You can't see him right now uh, because he's asleep. But if I do, let's see, if I do this, how do I do that? Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Uh, I don't know how to. I guess I can't change it. Oh, okay. Original. Yeah. See, that is Remy asleep. Right. Right there. That's Remy. He's asleep. He's going to be my co-host because Remy is an expert on hurricanes. And you're probably asking yourself, how is your son an expert on hurricanes? He's only 6 weeks old. Well, Remy was born during Hurricane Ian, so that's pretty exciting. Remy was born during Hurricane Ian. We have a whole vlog on that if you guys want to check it out. Of like, it was actually really crazy. The doctor said like 2 days before, he said your son's gonna be born probably during the hurricane, and we went to the hospital. And when we got there, the doctors was like, "Oh, you're not far enough along. You're gonna have to go home." And this is the day of Hurricane Ian, so we're like freaking out, thinking, "Okay, that's we're not driving away and coming back because there's a hurricane going on outside. So we're definitely not gonna be doing all that." And guess what? The doctor came in, looked at the nurses, and he was mad too. He was like, "No, no, they're not going nowhere. She's getting to bed." And we sat there through that whole thing. If you're new to this, we have two kids. We just had Remy, but we have Richard. He's 3, and Disney, if you're watching, he's 2. And basically, we had to separate from our son during the last hurricane, and we're in the hospital having a baby. And the very last thing that we hear before we actually leave to go to the hospital was the hurricane's going to be a direct hit, and that absolutely freaked us out. Like, we had no idea like what was going to happen, and it really freaked us out, like really bad. We had no idea, but you can watch every bit of that on the actual vlog. If you're watching, drop a like. If you're new, like I said, we try to find fun family things to do. Fun family things to do. And tonight's fun family thing is a hurricane, and that's the fun that we're going to have. I have my phone is actually hooked up. I don't know how well this is going to work because every time I get on here, it's like something new I try. If you're here and if you are from Florida, leave a comment or tell me where you're from. Tell me if you're going to hit it. As it stands right now, if you actually seen our, what's it called, our little intro, we're in the path of it right now. We're in the Villages, Florida, and we're kind of in the path of it. Let me try to adjust that so it stops going out of focus. But we're in the path of it right now, and if you don't know nothing about hurricanes, that can change in a minute. Like we're on that. It looks like we're on the northern edge, and when it hits us, like I'm looking out the window right now, and it's like a lot of stuff is like starting to happen a little bit. So like, but it's really as the night goes on. So like, I don't want to be long-winded, but I do kind of want to like show you guys, and like we'll do like, I don't know if I can show you this right now or if it'll work. Uh, let's see. No, no, no. Let's see. Could we get that working? Okay. Okay, so I gotta actually go to this thing, connect to this, connect, right? So if I do this, we actually have a virtual camera. What I'm 50 years old. We have a new tool, but hopefully I can take this out. Now, one of the issues that we've been having is that around here, I don't even know. Yeah, you guys can still hear me. But one of the issues that we've been having, and I got to remember to switch the mic to the camera or else it's not going to work that great. But one of the issues that we've been having was that, how do I get rid of all this stuff? Let me just go back to this. One of the issues that we've been having is the idea that the cell towers has been down for a little bit in our area since today and yesterday. So I don't know like how well, like I can't get too far. I'd love to actually walk outside and put this on and just be like, you know, Jim Cantori. That would be absolutely amazing. When could that be Jim Cantori? But first off, let's check. Let's check. I got this. I need to add this because we got the radar, and I want to add the radar monitor capture. Okay. Awesome. Let me pull this up so we can all look at it together. Where are we at? Okay. So let's prism camera. Monitor capture. Prism camera. So let's do it like this. This down. Okay. There we go. Prism camera. Make this smaller. There we go. Now, let's switch to this and take a look at this. So, I'm not in Miami. I just don't want you to know where I actually live. So right now, what we're looking at, we're in this area. It's moving slow. So by 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1 a.m., so it should start about 3:30, 3:34 a.m. That's when we're going to start getting the heavier stuff. But if you guys want to see a little bit more like what's going on, we're getting right now what we call squalls. And like, I'll probably like, there is actually squalls going on outside right now. And what I wanted to do is like, see this tree right here? I don't know if I can like sit under this tree. It's going to allow me to do that, maybe. See that tree? I've been watching that tree. Hold on, let me do this for you. Okay, you see that tree? That tree right there? we can just been kind of watching that tree because I know when that tree starts doubling down and see that beautiful baby right there. That's my beautiful baby. That's a little beautiful baby that I. That's my. Say hi. Really don't care about no hurricane. But we've been watching that tree, and that's actually doing a lot more. Like you can't see that light that's just above it. It's starting to really blow some rain and stuff. We're gonna walk out there in a second and just take a look at it. I'm a little bit nervous of doing that, but we will try our best to do what we can do. So let's actually try to, if you guys are down, let's try to walk outside and just get a feel for it, just to give you an idea of like I'm gonna put these headphones on, but just give you an idea right now. I'm not nervous, and just to be fair, I'm not nervous about like being blown away from the hurricane. By no means, I'm not nervous about that. I'm nervous at the phone connection and everything, like what that's gonna be. But let's look at this. If you're watching the stream, do me a big favor. Do me a big favor and just hit the like button. That really helps out. We do fun activities for families and stuff like that, and that's really exciting. And if you're from Florida, if you're in the chat, show me where you're at. But as it stands right now, we are at. Let's see. We are 9:49. This is where we're at right here. So this is where the hurricane's setting on my mouse point right there is kind of where we're at. The whole idea is that whole thing eventually, that whole thing, if I hold my mouse point, you can see what we're kind of going to get. So they're looking for it to start pushing north. You can see at about 1 a.m., it's going to start tightening up, and that's when we're really going to start getting some tough stuff through 3:37, 1 a.m. That's when the bad stuff, but the whole swells and stuff like that. So let me see what I can do about switching because I need to check and make sure that let's start doing this right here. Hold on 1 second. Let's switch back to this. Let's go back right here. Do that. Okay, so you can watch that for a second. And I'm going to do this. Oh, wait. Do this little number. All right. Okay. So now we do audio. Can you hear me on this or is it on that? Prism camera 2. We're good. Okay, so let's switch. All right. Delete that. Okay. And let's prism camera 2. We're good. Now, if I move away from this, I don't know if you can still hear me, but we'll walk out and we'll check out. Ready? Let's switch. Now. This is my setup right here. This is how I'm trying to control this. Hopefully the mic is picking up. There's a mobile. Whoa. Oh, okay. So now we have the mic on the mobile. All right. Cool.
All right, cool.
So that's more or less what
we're looking for.
Okay. So there's so many buttons. Every time you switch this thing right here, you have to redo all the audio stuff on this right here. Let's turn on the music just a little bit. Because that's probably really loud. Yeah. Let's see. Chat box. Awesome. Okay. So
half of my shoots anymore. Just trying to figure it out. I really wish that the internet wasn't so bad, or the towers wasn't bad, because we'd actually kind of walk out in it. But this wind is really supposed to start picking up throughout the night, and it's really kind of crazy. Like, it's just empty out here. This is our lovely home. And that's our lovely dog. And that's it. Hey, what are you doing, Edge? That's Tiffany. That's it. All right, now you gotta stay out, buddy. You gotta stay out. I'm talking to the people. That's pretty funny.
Okay. Let's switch back to. Let's get this straight. Pop this back on. I need to do a checklist. Make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. So what we'll do. Click on this. Switch back. Mic and audio still on. Cool. Okay. So we got that going. Mobile connection has been lost. We will check up later on the weather, but let's look as far as what's going on right now. I tell you, TikTok. Realistically, I mean, if we're gonna do this, okay, let's go to YouTube. I mean, you're just seeing me right now, right? Yeah. Let me make sure this, so we're not double echoing. All right, we're good on that. Okay, so let's go to YouTube. So the one thing that you can never let's see. No, we ain't doing like There's a guy on here literally called the Hurricane Slayer. I always enjoy just like so like the one thing that you'll know about hurricane like the one thing that I'll like hurricane fails. Let's see it. Let's just
Tequila Herradura Ultra Extraordinary awaits.
I'm here at Barry Island Beach, and there's no sign
the
of
one thing about Weather Reporter, they always make things worse than what they are. I just typed in random storm stuff, like storm fails. So we'll see how it actually plays out, because you know there's going to be some Florida stuff on here. There's always Florida stuff. Florida's like king.
Is that a snow penis?
Okay. Alright, that's... Okay. Okay. People always doing stuff, man. People's always doing stuff. I'm trying to find that video, right? Okay, let's see
The Weather
this one.
Channel is now responding to reports that one of their reporters was essentially faking it during his coverage of Hurricane Florence.
Probably seen the video on Facebook as that reporter struggles to keep his balance.
Okay, picking it up here.
This is so terrible
In
because like they
Wilmington,
do
North
try to
Carolina,
over
right at the Upper
exaggerate.
Coastal, and we're in one of these bands.
There's just two people
So that's
walking
Lance
behind you.
Mandel in Wilmington, North Carolina, but as he
They
embraces
do that. They'll
his
go
Good
into like
Friday,
this
we're going
area
to
and they'll find
guys.
like
You see
a
them walking
low
by
like
in the
a
background there
low
with their
lying
phone.
area and they'll just stand in it and
Video
people
has
just
been
walking
shared
behind them.
over
Not saying that the
50,000
area is not
social
flooded,
media. So
but if
now
the
a
area is
spokesperson
flooded like
for the
2
Weather
inches,
Channel
they
is
want the area
defending
to be
Seidel,
flooded
saying
like
it's important
3
to note
foot.
that the
Like
two
they want to be
individuals in the
standing
background are
as
walking on
close as they
concrete
can,
while
as
Seidel's
long as
resting
they
his
can.
footing on wet grass.
Or is like in the
The
worst
spokesperson
condition
goes on to
possible. I
say
guess
Seidel
that's
was
what sells.
exhausted
Really,
after
what I
walking
needed to
on
do
the
on this
river till
stream
1 a.m.
was I needed to actually get out and go actually just like find a swimming pool and just be like underwater and just be like, we're dying here. I mean, hurricanes are bad enough, but I guess they just do this stuff to make it seem like it's a worser situation than what it is, and I don't understand that because hurricanes are already pretty terrible situations. That was during Hurricane Sandy. My wife went through Hurricane Sandy up in New Jersey, and it actually blew down the dock that she or that we've done a video on it. If you look at our videos, we went to Ocean City, New Jersey, and Ocean City was actually destroyed during Hurricane Sandy. If you're gonna hear kids and stuff, we didn't bother to put him to sleep because, to be 100% fair with you, like hurricanes are like different. They're not. They're not like what you would. They're not like what you think. Like most people here have like if you look on the news reports, like there's been a mandatory evacuation on like the coastlines, and those are like people who actually live on the ocean. But like most people has chose not to they've chose not to actually evacuate. Like it just doesn't seem like that big of a deal. This hurricane doesn't seem like that big of a deal. And hurricanes are pretty they do get rough. They do get rough, but I think a lot of even after Ian, like Ian was tiring, but Ian hit it, especially us in the interior of the state. We just don't get it as bad. We have gotten bad. I think a hurricane might happen right now. Remy, hold on. This is the hurricane, baby. The reason the hurricane won't hit is because Remy won't let it. Will you, Remy? Let's get you in the frame a little bit. He is so tired and so wore out. He went through Hurricane Ian, so he absolutely just has no interest in this. The camera's having a hard time between my eyes and your eyes, son. Look at this. If you was a hurricane, would you be scared of that? Yeah, he's the best. All right, let's put you back because you don't seem like you're. He just had a full bottle. And hey, Saul, what's up? You're gonna ride out the hurricane with us? Uh, but yeah, nobody's really planning on leaving. That's kind of been like a big major thing with the news is because a lot of people during hurricanes leave, and I'm sure a lot of the people who don't live here probably or like don't live here year round probably ain't leaving. Let's get a little bit of music just in the background. They probably ain't leaving like or they'll probably leave because they're new to the state. But we're aware that there's going to be some type of damage. Hopefully, by the grace of God, it's minor. If you look at kind of like what we was looking at before, go back to our weather channel. I want to be Jim Cantori so bad. If you look up on this stream and you said this guy is a wannabe weather guy, 100%. And that's what YouTube is. YouTube is 100%. I can be whatever the hell I want. And that's what I'm going to be right now. Your choice to watch. Glad you are. You want to pretend. You want to pretend to be my correspondent. You want to throw some stuff. If you want to be here, make sure you like the stream. Helps other people see it. Always helps other people see the stream. But if you want to help out and be a correspondent, write something on there. I don't care. I'm going to report it. I'm going to be like old Jim Bob's down in Newport Richie, and he said an elephant just came from the hurricane. I don't care. Nobody's holding me to my word. I don't care. But let's look at the let's look at the actual hurricane again. That's kind of what we're looking at. We are definitely getting the worst part of it at 3:45 now. If you're from another country, or if you're from you're from a place that doesn't get like hurricanes, you're probably asking yourself like, oh yeah, well, am I showing that? Yeah, I'm definitely showing that, right? I always got to double check myself to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Other people have other windows for that. I just have a laptop. But if you're wondering like how we're gonna go about doing this, we sleep light because even though it takes one strong gust of wind. It takes one strong gust of wind to actually just, do something. Or tornadoes, especially like this time of year. So this time of year is kind of dangerous for us in Florida because we are not normally just hot, right? But we have cold fronts coming in, and now we're sitting at 70, and this is tropical wind that's going to be coming in warmer. Well, you know what happens when cold wind and hot wind meet? We get tornadoes. And there was actually a church maybe about 3 or 4 miles up the road here. Around this time of year, actually got devastated and just got hit dead impact on a hurricane or a tornado and wiped it out. It was actually on the Today Show and everything that they got hit, and it's kind of devastating just to this area right here. I don't know if that was a tornado, a hurricane though, or if it was just a tornado, because just this time of year is when Florida's weather can be the most active and the most dangerous. And if you're planning a trip down here or you got your family and stuff, it's always good. It's always good, especially this time of year between September to December, to kind of have a little bit of travel insurance, because you never know what you're going to step into. You can plan that trip all year and it can be a Category 5. Speaking of that, let's see. We'll take this. Go back here. And pull, because I got so many things. We'll talk about, or we can get rid of that. Nicole. Such a beautiful name. Hurricane Nicole. Hurricane Nicole. Hurricane Nicole. Ooh. Hurricane Nicole. Let's see. Let's get you back up here. We're going to go over in a minute. We'll go over kind of like what's going on right now with the theme parks, because I don't think any of them are planning on being open tomorrow. So I don't know what that is. Walt Disney World Resort theme parks will phase closure today, November 9th, beginning at 5 p.m. So they closed early today and will remain closed through tomorrow morning, November 10th. Reported and encouraged to enjoy food and beverage options at a theme park prior to returning to their Disney Resort hotel. Theme parks will likely not reopen at regularly scheduled time tomorrow, November 10th. What does that mean? Guests are encouraged to enjoy food and beverage options at the theme park prior to returning to their resort or hotel. Does that mean they're giving it for... No, they ain't giving it. It's Disney. They ain't giving nothing for free. Disney Animal Kingdom closing today, 5 p.m. Last dinner reservation at 5 p.m. Disney Hollywood closing today, November 9th at 6 p.m. Last dining reservation 6 p.m. Magic Kingdom closing today, November 9th at 7 p.m. So Epcot's closing. So all those Universal Volcano Bay will be closed Wednesday due to Tropical Storm Nicole. Universal Orlando Resort, including City Walk, will close early on Wednesday today, 5 p.m. Theme parks said hotels will remain operational. So basically, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be spending a day at a. You're definitely just going to be spending a day at the resort. You're not going anywhere. You're definitely not going anywhere. I had to check and see what music, because I can't hear the music playing. If it sounds chill. There's like some Halloween stuff on there that I don't know if I deleted off of. So at some point in time, hopefully it hits at the right time. If we're talking about actually talking about the hurricane, it's just gonna start just ripping. That rain's really starting to pick up out there. So it seems like all the theme parks is Kennedy Space Center will be closed Wednesday and Thursday. It expects to reopen on Friday. Legoland is adjusting its hours Thursday due to Tropical Storm Nicole. To see the full list. Oh, Legoland actually sent something instead of did they just not bother to? Now I feel bad for Legoland. They wrote everything out for the other theme parks, and they're like, we're just gonna copy and paste Legoland's. Park hours Thursday. So they're gonna try to make a go for it. Like as soon as it stops raining, they're just right back up. You see that? It says that Peppa Pig theme park will open from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. You might have to move a tree to get there, but damn it, you can get there if you choose so. That is absolutely amazing. They're just going to go for it. That sounds awesome. The resort hotels we got to go to Peppa Pig Land. I keep saying we're going to go to Peppa Pig Land, and we never go to Peppa Pig Land. But right now, there's like this big RSV thing, and like we don't want to bring Remy anywhere because like if you don't know anything about RSV, it's like a really kind of rough. It's a rough thing. You know what I mean? I would like to go to Kennedy Space Center. That would actually be really fun. I want to go to Kennedy Space Center. We try to do stuff that's fun for kids, and we need to show them that learning's fun. Check out this woman right here. She's just like, see how it's that rain? You can't see it because I don't have a light, but see how that's like just starting to blow? It's actually doing the same thing outside. I'm just not as dramatic with it. Did you see that? Like right on Daytona Beach, they've stood in front of it all day because Daytona Beach right now. Hold on, Daytona Beach. Let's just go to YouTube. Yeah, see, like, okay, we go to Daytona Beach a lot. I know what you're gonna say. I need to get YouTube Prime or whatever.
Tropical
I don't
storm
know.
Nicole has also
But
prompted
you
leaders in
look,
Volusia County to make changes as they expect certain areas to receive
Daytona Beach is pretty much wiped out. See, check that out. That's like, and you can drive like, okay, I don't know why they closed captions on here, but see, like right here, you can drive to that. Like Daytona Beach is a driving beach. Fun fact about Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach is actually where NASCAR started. It actually, the idea and the thought process started up in the hills with the moonshiners and stuff, but the official first NASCAR race actually happened on that beach right there. So you can assume that that beach goes down to the ocean wide enough to hold 3 or 4 cars wide. You can drive on Daytona Beach. Let's see, like, real quick. Let's just get a picture of Daytona Beach. It's all gonna be hurricane pictures, but yeah, there's so many, like, it's not showing that you can drive on the beach. Let's see. I just heard Richard come to the door and say, "Where's Dad at?" So you can see right here, like this is actually where, and that's actually the area. I think that's the actual place right there that you can actually see. Like how far it goes out that you can drive a few lanes, and that's what it looks like at the current moment. That's what we're looking at right now. This is absolutely, it's absolutely amazing the power of destruction something like that can cause.
Start coming down. I'm going to show you why. This building here was damaged during Hurricane Ian. But as of this
And
morning,
you know,
can see the
it's
rest
weird
are
because
now
I was talking to
falling in.
Tiffany not
That building
long
was
ago.
level yesterday.
My mother
The
came
seawall
down
here has
and we
already
went to the
been
beach. I say not
washed
long ago.
away. The
I believe it was
building
last
is
winter
going
because
down
we
now.
live in Florida,
That is
and
exactly what those leaders here.
we went to the beach last winter because you can do that here in Florida, and we actually changed in those. We changed in those. Those guys coming off the beach, and now the building's destroyed, which is absolutely amazing. What you doing?
Hi.
Hi. That's really. Oh, that looks interesting.
Who's talking with you?
What? Who's talking with me?
Yeah.
I'm talking to that camera right there, like we do on our show. You want to talk on the camera?
Yeah.
Tell everybody be safe on the hurricane.
I will be safe.
Awesome. Awesome, buddy. Want to see more of that? Subscribe. All right.
And subscribe.
Tell them. Say like and subscribe.
Some like and subscribe.
Yeah, baby. All right. Go out and hang out in your room, buddy. I'll be out in a little bit, okay? Love you. You're my best friend.
I'm gonna go find Mama.
All right, go find Mama and shut the door.
Okay.
That's exciting. But anyway, yeah, like the stream, like Richard said. All you do is click out of the chat, hit the thumbs up button. That really helps out. It really helps the stream, helps us do our channel. But anyway, this guy is very good looking. They're looking for it to go up through Atlanta. So Saul, if you're watching, you're definitely going to get a little taste of this. You're going to get a little something. But okay, so that's absolutely amazing. Go back to here. Just the amount of destruction a hurricane can cause. And what's weird about it is hurricanes, like when we was younger, it had to be 2000, maybe 15, maybe 2004. I'm older than that. 2004, 2005. We had hurricanes hit back to back. And you know, the meteorologists and the climate people kept saying that it was going to get progressively worse. But I remember it had to be my freshman or sophomore year of high school. We ran the first time, and we ran up to Georgia, and it actually caught us. And we was in the middle of it, and then we came back, and we was without power for a week. Like an actual week, we was without power. And when we came back, another hurricane hit, and we had to run again. And I think we ran. I can't remember. I think we just got the power. It couldn't have been. It was shorter than this time. But 3 hurricanes hit. By the third hurricane, and this was like the experience for like most of the Floridians. We didn't have time to work because everything was closed down. We didn't have time to put back any money, and we was going off and running. That we actually just ran to like this small hotel room in Gainesville. So that was maybe about 30, 40 miles north, and it was just out of the path of the hurricane. But the thing is about a hurricane is they really don't, they have an idea of what direction it's going to go, like what direction it's going to go, but they never have a true idea of what actual path it's going to take. And a 10-mile shift or a 20-mile shift or a 5-mile shift can be devastating in the long run. And that's actually what happened to us. We was in this hotel in Gainesville. I'll never forget it. Me and my brothers, because you're young and stupid at the time, we just kind of like that breezeway that I was standing out there. You could literally try to fall forward, and you wouldn't fall forward because the wind was so strong coming out of the breezeway. And we watched one of those big, huge signs that is right on the edge of the interstate. We watched one of them big, huge signs. They literally was bending over. And when I tell you them signs, and I'm talking about them signs that you can see far away from the interstate, really far, touchdown. You can see really far away from the interstate. This thing was bending over past its half, and I was like, man, that sign is very flexible. I just watched, just staring at it. I was like, there's no way that sign's not going to snap. But we watched it, and it was just amazing that something so narrow and just that sign at the top was bent back so far. And I think that was one of the first times I really kind of understood the strength of a hurricane, because you would never think that something like that. But being a Floridian, you're always kind of cautious, that we make that joke about, like, Floridians, like, we don't care about a hurricane, you see that guy on TikTok and stuff like that. Everybody makes jokes about hurricanes and stuff like that. But we are very, very cautious about it. If you're in the chat and you tell me where you're from. If you're in the chat, tell me where you're coming in from, and where, if you're watching this post, tell me where. We're gonna do a little check out. I keep an eye out on the window back behind me, because eventually what's gonna happen in the next hour or so is them trees are gonna start doubling down. And when they start doubling down, we know that we're going to have a little bit more of a situation. Right now, it's kind of the calm before the storm. And I think one of the things that, like, is making me think that this hurricane's not going to be as strong as the other ones, besides them saying it's a Category 1, when Hurricane Ian was coming through, there was no wind. Bands has been coming off this for the past 2 days. It's been raining on and off for the past 2 days. When a hurricane seems really strong, you don't get those bands. It gets in such a, like, okay, see how this, if I can remove myself, see how this is like kind of spread out? See how it's just kind of spread out, right? It's like there's so much over here to the east of it, and so much over here to, like, there's just a lot going on with it. But if we go over to, like, if we go to we go to Hurricane Ian. And I know this might be a different type of picture or something like that. But if we look at Hurricane Ian, see how tight Hurricane Ian is? See how tight that is? So what happens is that's pulling down. It's almost like, if you watch our video on the when we had Remy, I think I made mention of that it's almost like it doesn't feel like the wind's blowing. It feels like the air is being sucked out of the room. And that's just the strength of the hurricane. That's just the strength of it. Like, it's just, but this hurricane's just been sending out as it's spinning. Let's see if we can pull this picture up. No. As it's spinning, you see more of that tightness, like that tightness on there. How tight this is. See that tight little wind it has, kind of like a yo-yo. that's not shooting anything out. That's sucking everything in because it's developed that eye right there. So it's just sucking everything in. So you're not going to get the same squalls and stuff that we are off of getting off of Hurricane Nicole. You're not going to get those same squalls. So that's why I think a lot of Floridians are like, okay, if we're on the coast, you guys are probably a little bit worried, but the rest of us, we know we're going to get some wind. We don't know to what degree, but and everything can change real quick. It can hit and intensify, but the ocean's kind of cooling down, especially closer to the in the Atlantic, more to the north. It's kind of cooling down, so they're expecting it to weaken, really, really weaken here pretty quick, and that's really going to help out the situation. I'm looking. We're still getting them same rain out there. I wish I had a way to just, it'd be cool. Like I don't think of stuff because I could have Bluetooth this like camera right here just to sit outside, and we could have just clicked over to it and just looked. That would have been a lot smarter if I would have done that. But we're just not getting I don't think we're going to get the intensity. I think the flooding, and what you're seeing a lot of that damage, and they make mention of that because it looks destructive, especially over in Daytona. It looks destructive, but it's kind of that same idea. Like a lot of that stuff is still soft from Ian. Some of the things that it's breaking down and some of the stuff that it's busted was different things that was already kind of broken because of Ian. Because you got to think, Ian was 6 weeks ago. It was just a little over a month ago. I know because we had the baby during the hurricane. If you're watching it, if you're dropping in for a second, hit the like button. It helps out. You're here. I'm giving you information. We're sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I can feel the fat burning away. Anyway, we're not sponsored. We're not. We're just talking about the hurricane. We are right in its path. I don't know how much damage it's going to do. We are in the inland of Florida. If you are looking at this, we are kind of this upper area right here in this section, and they're looking for it to turn up and actually come this way. So it's pretty exciting. I don't want it to be, I feel like this is, if I had to say, and if you are a person who is interested in the hurricane, we are going to get to actually doing hurricane stuff here in a second. I want to make sure that this is up to date. But before we do, that's not it. Let me get right back here. Let's get... All right, buddy. No, sir. You know better. Go play in your room. Dad's on a business call. You said hi. Don't take advantage of that. Don't take advantage of that. I know you want to take advantage of that. I know you want to. All right. Go play with Mom, buddy.
I take advantage.
What? You taking advantage?
Yeah.
No, he's taking advantage. All right. I want to find something. No. All right, close the door, buddy. If you're just tuning in, we are looking over the hurricane. That's a weird code. So this is a little lovely compilation of people affected by the storm. And I genuinely do feel like that this is a hurricane party hurricane.
Kayak. Search one and done.
जानिए देश दुनिया की बड़ी खबर. Hit the bell icon and never miss a video from Lehre News.
Always acting, man. That ain't my man Jim, is it? Dude. See, that's what I was talking about on that. What is it called? That's that type of wind. You get that type of wind that you could not fall forward. If you fell forward, you'd fall forward about 10 foot back. Just so much power. My man's out there doing it though. He's doing some. What is he holding?
Don't worry about me, guys. I'm a professional. Stay safe.
That was pretty funny. Look at the wind though. Was that guy like? Look at that. It's absolutely insane. And you know what's weird? Like that's hard to be out there in something like that. Like you got to really. I wonder what the insurance policy is on Jim Cantori. Like I wonder how much he has to pay. Like his life insurance. He's probably like $2,000 a month just for life insurance. Because that guy, like, you follow Jim. Wherever Jim's gonna be, that's where the hurricane. I ain't checked on Jim because this hurricane's not been that great of a. And been that eventful of a hurricane. But we are, if you're just joining, we've been going in and out, just checking on things. We're in the middle of the state. Things really ain't supposed to be picking up, looking out. We have some sideways rain, but it's really kind of hard to tell right now. But we have some sideways rain going on. She's doing her thing. Remembering that's that's not what we're trying to do. Hurricane fails. I bet that's what that looks like. So that's in Asia. Here's a question for the chat. What's the difference between a hurricane and a tsunami? Is there a difference, or is it just matter what ocean it comes from? Because like I always notice, like especially in like Japan and stuff like that, they're constantly talking about like a hurricane or oh no, I didn't want to press that. I was going to plug you in, so we had you. But what's the difference between a hurricane and a tsunami? That's kind of what I want to know. I wish the cell towers was not doing what they're doing right now, because I would just be out walking around and we could just go check it out. But this is kind of what we have to do for right now. But what's the difference between a hurricane and tsunami? That's what I want to know. That thing is going down. That got to be in China or Japan or something.
I'm here at Barry Island Beach, and there's no sign of salt.
She got hit by a fish.
And on Long Island, home video caught this amazing sight when a giant tree was uprooted during the height of the storm.
So when we was in New Jersey, right? When we lived in New Jersey for a while, there was this thing called a wind surge. I've never heard of one until I went up there. So I get in the truck with my father-in-law. My mom's like come to visit us, and she's sitting there. She's watching. This is when Richard was just born, right? And we're like 5 miles up the road from her, and it looks like a big, beautiful, glorious day. Like the right things about how beautiful this day was, right? And she calls us like freaking out. She's like, "You gotta come home. There was a tornado." And we're like, "No, there's no way there was a tornado. It's beautiful. We're only 5 miles up the road from you." She said, "No, you gotta come home. There's been a tornado." So we come back to where we were staying. We were staying at an RV park at that time, just because it was up there, whatever. But we pull into this RV park, and just like that tree you just seen, that big of a tree was, where is it? Where'd it go? Right here? A tree, no, it's bigger than this tree. It was bigger than this tree. Was laying down, right? So we're driving through this park, and there's just trees all over. And it didn't look like nothing until we got within maybe about a 300 or 400 yard radius. And if you know what this is, like, you can tell me, because I have no idea what it is. But it was like 3 or 4 yards, or 300 or 400 yards wide. And like you could look, it looked almost like a bulldozer came through and just wiped it out. And like later on in the news, they said it was some type of surge, that surge literally just like destroyed so much stuff. Like it destroyed so much stuff in like a 50-mile strip, but it was straight through. I've never seen weather like that before.
This amazing sight when a giant tree was uprooted during the height of the storm.
My man, I'm here drinking him some water. Whoa, that's some wind right there. Holy crap. Did you see that? You better get in because your head's about to look like that.
Video out of Taiwan apparently showing a tornado spawned by the storm hitting Tainan City. Wow.
Yeah, you see it pop up right in front of that vehicle. The vehicle that turned out in front of him disappeared.
Oh, that's crazy. What was it this time last year? I think it was. There was a guy in Ocala that's just north of here. Was just got caught. It was same looking type of video like this. Hold up.
This happens obviously in seconds. You go from strong rains, ominous clouds, near zero visibility, and then cars tossed around like trees.
When was it? I think it was this one. Yeah. Check this out. This was in Ocala. This was in Ocala that the guy actually watched. Let me.
Harbor Freight, America's #1 tool store. Harbor Freight, over 1,300 locations nationwide.
Well, people in Ocala are cleaning up the mess left behind following a weekend tornado. Sky 6 was up over areas of
Watch
the
this.
city
This is absolutely insane. This guy, this was just a few miles, like maybe like 10, 20, 25 miles north of
paramedics
here.
sitting in a drive-through capturing the wild moments as that
Check
storm
that out.
blew through. And tonight we're hearing from him about those scary
How bad did you want that food?
News 6's Jerry Askin has his story. With tree limbs down and debris all over, the cleanup now continues after that weekend confirmed EF1 tornado right here in Marion County. Marion County paramedic Alex Sierra said he had just gotten off work Saturday morning and was trying to get donuts for his family when this happened.
He was just trying to get donuts, man.
It was pretty serious. I mean, the whole event was scary. I mean, I think I got out of it pretty lucky.
A confirmed EF1 tornado in Ocala.
Listen to this. This is the only proper reaction
Just
to.
gotten off work Saturday morning and was trying to get donuts for his family when this happened.
I'd be doing the same thing. I would be doing the same thing if that was what I was sitting through. I would be doing the same thing. That's absolutely crazy that anybody would have to. I have no idea. What I would have definitely needed a new pair of pants if that's what I'm sitting through. I'm definitely gonna need a new pair of
Marion
pants after
County
that one.
paramedic Alex Sierra said he had just
That
gotten
is
off work Saturday
insane.
morning and was trying to get donuts for his family when this happened.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. I mean, the whole event was scary. I mean, I think I got out of it pretty lucky.
A confirmed EF1 tornado in Ocala. He gave us this dash camera video from his vehicle as he was sitting in the drive-thru of this Dunkin' Donuts on Highway 200, the same place that's now boarded up and closed until Wednesday.
You were joking a bit, but you were also kind of serious, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was pretty serious.
Serious, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
What was he joking about?
Place that's now boarded up and closed until Wednesday.
You were joking a bit, but you were also kind of serious, huh?
Where was this man joking at?
County. Marion County paramedic Alex Sierra said he had
Now you know, they said, we're going to play this. And he's like, don't play the audio. We'll play the audio. But we're just going to say he was joking. Because this...
Marion County paramedic Alex Sierra said he had just gotten off work.
That ain't joking. That is, I think I'm about to die.
And was trying to get donuts for his family when this happened.
Yeah, it was pretty
He's like,
scary.
you know,
I mean, the
you
whole
was
event scary.
joking, right? You was joking a little bit. That man was not joking. That man thought he was about to die. Because if I was in that situation, I think I would probably feel like I'm about to die too. What I need to do, we'll go out and do a little update outside. We'll go see. If you're watching this, drop a like. If you like fun stuff, this is a little special thing that we're doing. We went through kind of like, we already talked about Disney World and everything's going to be closed tomorrow. They're all going to be closed. What we try to do now, I got to make sure that I do this right, because I want actual, don't want to be echoing, so I got to make sure I do this right. I want to do this right. So what we're going to do, switch to this, back over here, switch to this, this. I just like, I really appreciate the idea that we can just connect like this. Connect. Okay. We're good. Menu. We'll turn the mic off right now until it's about time. And we'll switch over to this. We'll turn that on, turn this down a little bit. We'll turn our mic on. Now we are back. We're back. So let's see. If you're on here.
Like, let's do a weather update outside. Tiffany is definitely on the phone, so she's. That's my TV. Okay, so the wind's definitely picking up. The wind is definitely picking up. I don't know how far I can actually go down with this. Definitely hear the winds picked up. A lot of things changed. We walked out here a few minutes ago and we did not have any yeah, come on, Judd. I let my dog out. Get back in there, Jack. Go back in there. All right. So, That's the same tree you're seeing from the room. The wind is progressively getting, like, you can't see the rain, but the rain is definitely picking up. And it goes progressively get worse. But that's kind of nothing too crazy at the moment. Nothing too odd. Definitely hear the wind pick up. I wish I could go out further because that would be cool. Maybe walk it a little bit. It's going to progressively deteriorate over time. If you can kind of see it, you look up there, you can see that rain falling. Pretty heavy. And it's been pretty much a light mist like this through the whole day. I say through the whole day. It started kind of like 1 o'clock or so. 1 o'clock, it started doing kind of a slight mist and started getting a little bit heavier and a little bit heavier and a little bit heavier. And that's kind of like what it's been, kind of the whole idea of it. It's going to be a long night. It's definitely going to We're going to have to sleep light tonight. That wind is progressively going to pick up more and more and more and more. You see that orb right there? That's a ghost. I've been playing Phasmophobia a lot, so that's what we're doing. I was hoping to get my new iPhone in. It's supposed to be delivered Friday, but I went everywhere to try to get it today in order to like show you, like do it through there, because I feel like the iPhone 14 is going to be better than this at night, but it's not. It was kind of frantic here today too. Like you tell a lot of people, I went into Walmart and Walmart was crazy. They was closing at 5 o'clock due to the weather. Which, looking at the weather now, I guess, like in case somebody wanted to run, but Walmart was just kind of crazy. You don't meet the same people at Walmart that you do in that made a noise. Whatever that was. Let's pick it up a little bit more. I need to stop touching buttons on here. But my Wi-Fi is a little weak. Just standing right here. I'd like to get that wind's picking up so much worse. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it. The wind's getting heavier, getting stronger. Wow. And that's a cold wind too. That's what makes it dangerous for tornadoes, is because it's not really been that cold, but that wind is really cold. That's a tree. It's progressively just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. I gotta constantly go. I've been playing Phasmophobia. You can play that before, and I'm just seeing this orb at the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna go hunt it. Guys, that wind is extremely cold. I was put on a light sweater, but when I go inside to come back in here, or when I come back in here, it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna have to put on something a little heavier because that is progressively cold. There's supposed to be a cold front coming in after the fact. It's supposed to be like a high of 70, but that wind is cutting through. There's some very, very strong. You hear that? Can you hear it? That wind is so strong. It's eerie out here. Right. Earlier today, there were some kids playing down there and stuff like that. And it's like everything was normal, but now it's getting really, really eerie. Wow. The wind's it's not too terribly strong, but it's consistent. If that makes sense. It's not like, it's not like too terribly strong. Fine face. Oh, wow. Let's turn that off. Unless I want a cute face. But the wind's not too terribly strong, but it's definitely, that's not working too well. It's definitely consistent. It's picking up. I gotta go inside for a second. I definitely gotta, if I come back out here, I gotta change to something a little bit warmer. That's just not picking up at all. But that rain's supposed to get progressively heavier. This is Tiffany. Say hi, Tiffany. She's part of the normal vlogs, but she hasn't done a live stream yet. Richard is in here.
No, you gotta go.
No, you gotta go.
You gotta go. You look like a dinosaur.
You look like a dinosaur, though.
You gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
What's wrong?
What's wrong, buddy?
I'll be out.
I'll be out in a little bit. We got a big storm coming.
He does not like.
He does not like this time of night. Is like me.
So he gets
very angry.
Not hanging out.
I'm not hanging out with him.
So if you're,
I'll
be out in a second, buddy.
I'll be out in a second, buddy. this one. You don't even... I don't think he even cares about me at all. He just wants to, check out. He just wants my soda. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a quick break really fast. And we're just going to keep capturing this. We're just going to keep rocking it out. That's kind of the whole point of today, is just to check out the hurricane and make sure everything is cool, everything's kosher. And we'll just look at it and make sure that we'll go in and out and keep checking. As things progress later on into tonight, we're just going to keep going out and looking and see. But I'm going to see if I can get my son to bed real quick and have him lay down, and then we'll pick this back up. So I'm going to put some nice music on for you guys.
Don't buy solar panels. Seriously, there is a very good
Okay, we are back. We are back. Oh boy. Let me do a quick mic check, because you always got to do a mic check to make sure that you are actually where you say you are and not where you thought you were somewhere you aren't. So, let's do adjusting on the music here. Let's see. Okay, so we are covering the hurricane. I had to go put Richard to sleep, and I think I forgot my hat, but that's all right because I have luscious hair. But I did not forget my coffee. If you are just joining us, we are right in, other way, this right here above my fingertip. That's where we're at. We're in the Villages, Florida, and we are switching back and forth between the phone camera and looking kind of at updates and stuff like that. I just got done. We were in a lull, so that's what happened there. I'm a cool dad. Okay. So anyway, so we're expecting to get high winds. I was just, if you looked at what we just posted right there, let me go back to that, and we'll just kind of go over that to what it is real quick so we can see that. Let's go right here. You can kind of tell, I think, let's see. Right here. That's a good, no. Where is that? Right. It's easy now, cowboy. Right there. So that's basically saying, let me just go back just a tad. There we go. So right in here, we're looking to get anywhere between 58 to 73 mile per hour winds tonight. We're right on the cusp of that at Orlando, so I'm guessing we're probably going to get somewhere in the probably high 70s. Is kind of what we're looking at. See, I might need to make my a little bit smaller so you can see it. But we're looking right here, somewhere in the high. We're right here above I-4, below. We're in this area right here. If that worked, I don't know if we made it small enough to see. But we're right here in this area right here. In a few minutes, we'll go back out and we'll check with the phone and make sure everything's good. See how things are progressing. Oh, it looks like the wind's definitely picking up out there. What I'm going by. Oh yeah, we should definitely. Let me get this fixed because I just heard that wind whip. I just heard that wind whip as it was going by here. So let's get this set up to go outside. We go to Prism. Go to this. Go right here. Connect. So that looks terrible, but that's like the upper corner of my room. So it's just the upper corner of my room. Looks be deceiving. Okay, so we're on this. Turn that down. Prism level's good. Turn the audio off. So we're able so you can hear, see, so out real quick. A little, because that was my wind gusts by it really loud. Now, fortunately, I've yet to figure out how to work the comments while doing this. It's getting colder and colder out there.
So what's gonna happen is it looks really calm, but what's gonna happen is the wind is gonna start coming in. It's like a surge now. Really, it'll be kind of calm, constant wind blowing, but more frequently you're gonna start seeing these stronger and stronger gusts come through, and that's the wind that does the damage. What does, and you probably, I don't want to regurgitate what the news says, but basically what happens is we've been dealing with this rain on and off for the past few days, and it's softened the ground. So that's why we get down trees and stuff like that, is because the ground's just soft from just being so saturated. And that's probably the most dangerous thing about a hurricane is just how much before the actual heavy rain and the heavy wind actually gets down here. Or the heavy rain and the heavy wind and all that combined, and that's really what's really starting to get it. But that wind's really starting to pick up. That gust that just came by, and that might just be one gust for the next 30 minutes or so, and it's going to start picking up a little bit more, pick up a little bit more, and pick up a little bit more until eventually we're in just a strong amount of wind. But it'll progressively get worse and worse and worse, and once it starts progressively getting worse, then all of a sudden we will definitely start seeing more and more stuff. But I can't see anybody's comments or anything like that, and I can't go out there any further because the cell towers has been down in this area for the past couple of days, so I can't walk outside there. I really wish there was a filter that didn't make me look so flush. But we are getting new iPhones here pretty soon, and that's what we're getting. I'm just grabbing something off this desk here real quick because I really need it. Tiffany's out there out there enjoying the hurricane. They told us to take everything off the patio. They told us to take everything off the patio, so we had to take it off, but she's out there on the chair. I really want to try, and I might try to sneak down just a little bit further and see if the Wi-Fi holds up. Because I feel like if you was in that's about as far as it's going to let me go. Maybe if I stand right here. There. See, now it's okay. See how it's completely still now? Nothing's moving. That wind was whipping here earlier, so it makes me think, is there a big gust about to come in? Standing directly underneath this tree. Yeah, there it is. Very heavy wind gusts coming through. I mean, not by comparison to normal wind, not hurricane. It's I don't think it's reached anywhere near hurricane force winds yet. I think we got about an hour or so before we actually see that. still pretty calm. The thing you're familiar with Florida in general, big state. It's not a small state. It's not. Uh, I'm trying. Okay, that's not a real thing. That's not what I wanted. Edit. That's not that. How do I delete that? I thought that was actually going to show my chat, but it's not. Okay, it's the range. I don't know if you can see that more right there. Oh, clean that. Oh, the rain just started getting really heavy. It's not like, it's like a strong mist type rain. That's not heavy drops by no means, but it's starting to pick up now. Okay, yeah, that's starting to pick up. Like, and like, these are those are still, these are still just coming in, and you can really hear that wind picking up. It's a lot of wind. It's a lot of wind. Your shoes inside that. So.
That's basically what's going on outside right now. It's kind of epic, not super epic, but kind of epic. Um, yeah, the news guy just said it's done getting in strength, but storms always intensify. Landfall, pretty much, he's got to be capping right now. I don't know. I don't. Here's the thing. Like, I don't think any news I don't think anybody knows anything about like only Mother Nature knows what Mother Nature is going to do. Only God knows the weather. Only God knows that, and that's pretty much what we're looking at right now. We don't really know what's going to happen when, you know what I mean. Like weather people there to give an educated guess. That's why they do a cone instead of like a straight line, and that's why they have the what is it, the spaghetti models that show all different stuff. Because I genuinely don't think that Weather Channel really knows what's going on or what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. It really depends on the weather itself. They have a good guess, but I don't think that they're going to really pick up on what's the end is going to be because when we was younger and we would run from hurricanes, where they said it was going to go and where it went was two completely different things. I'd like to get in a few minutes. I'd like to get a full setup. I'm going to plug my phone back into a charge, and what I'd like to do is eventually, once everything calms down, um, actually talk to her. Tiffany, are you on the phone? Okay. When everything kind of calms down, can you grab me Richard's iPad? When everything calms down, I'd like to kind of go outside and I'll have something that I can actually talk to you guys while we're doing it. But we're looking in the next hour or so, everything's going to start picking up. I keep looking out the window because that's kind of like where everything's going to be. If you're joining the stream, hit the like button. Really helps us out a lot. It's a small channel. We are a family channel that goes around and finds fun things to do for families in Florida. And tonight's family fun activity is Hurricane Nicole. So if you think that that is fun and if you think that's enjoyable, you can definitely join in. So we're just going to go in and out throughout the night and just kind of check on it. That's kind of the thing. But I got to figure out because I got this from Daniel and Yuka in Japan. It's a YouTube channel. They're pretty awesome. They go around and explore Japan. Daniel's a really nice guy, and he's kind of walked me through how to do like work with this live streaming software, technology, and stuff like that. And he's kind of taught me, but he hasn't showed me everything. So if you're watching this, definitely go check out Daniel and Yuka. They use Prism, but they're exploring Tokyo and all through Japan, and absolutely amazing. Very nice people, very great, very entertaining people to watch. They actually just got recovered from COVID, so they're going back out there, and that's going to be exciting to see more of what they got going on. So if you do want to check them out, They're really great. And like I said, Daniel's a really nice guy. So what I'm trying to do right now is because you guys are trying to talk to me while I'm outside, and I have no idea how to get that without cutting off the stream. So I'm trying to find a way to get the live chat on something else, so I don't have to. So I don't have to keep walking inside and checking your questions. If you have any questions or anything at all about what's going on or where we're at, we're in the middle of the state. We're like kind of right where my finger is pointing. I mean, if you've seen the photo, we're right in that area. We're in a town called The Villages. It's the world's largest retirement community. It's absolutely amazing. I'm the world's youngest retiree. That part's not true. I work like a dog every day, and then I come home and I do YouTube, and on the weekends I do YouTube, and that's kind of my life. I like my life, but I'm just making small talk till we get to the next thing that what we're going to do. And my camera keeps losing focus, and I'm not that excited about that. But thanks for joining in to the likes and the live chat. Real quick, Florida people, if you're from Florida right now, first of all, hit the like button if you're from Florida, and let me know what town you are in Florida, and tell me if you're freaking out, are you trying to run, are you trying to stay, what are you trying to do here in this hurricane, because that's what I want to know more than anything else. Are you trying to ride this out? Are you having a hurricane party? Is the party having a hurricane for you? Are you, or is the hurricane going to have a party and you're not invited? Are you part of the Panhandle? Are you South Florida, North Florida? Are you not even in the country? Are you from England and you've never heard of this crazy thing called a hurricane and you just want to hear about it and you just want to talk about it and you just want to see what's going on, let me know in the chats because that's what we're kind of talking about. My name is Rich. We are a family channel that goes around and finds fun things to do for your whole family and children. We have 2 small children, a 3-year-old and a newborn. We try to find fun things for them to do, and tonight's fun thing is a hurricane. Gay just wrote, the news guy just said it's done, gain of strength, but storms always intensify before hitting Florida landfall pretty much. He's got to be capping, right? I don't know. My thought process is it is late in the year, so the water is kind of cooler, and it's kind of making landfall at night. When stuff makes landfall at night, it's not as hot, and usually what happens is it hits that shallower water towards the coast, which actually heats it up and makes it worse. I don't know. They're expecting by the time it hits us, it's supposed to have 70-mile-per-hour winds. That's kind of what I'm gauging outside. Once it starts intensifying more, we're going to Jim Cantori this bitch, and we're going to take it outside, and we're going to make this shit happen. I don't cuss normally on our stuff, but it's hurricane season, baby, and a lot of things has changed since high school, Stacy. So we're going to do a whole bunch of fun stuff, and we're going to learn how to handle a hurricane. We're going to see out if there's a man dancing on a pole out there. Obviously, that's Florida man. We will try to capture him, and we will try to make him a part of the vlog if we can find him, but he is probably off going somewhere trying to break into a zoo to steal an alligator to throw into another Wendy's drive-through window. So we might not get him. But what we are doing tonight is we are looking, so we need to look at an update and kind of see where the storm's at right now. I just kind of want to look at an update, see if anything's changed. We got this right here. This is a live update. Here we are. This is the last 6 hours. This is what it's done. We are getting this right here. Hold on. I should definitely, before I get too excited, I need to show you guys what we're doing right here. All right, switch this over. We are getting this right here. This right there. So we're right here. And this is where we're at. So we're not even starting to it. We're just starting to get what sailors would call a squall, which is wind and rain. And that's looking out the window. If you just watched when we was out there about five minutes ago, if you want to go back and see, that's kind of what we're getting right now. Let me make sure I don't have this music too loud because I don't want you guys to be disturbed. Never to be disturbed. Let's get that out of the way. Mic off, music playlist. Let's get it to a little bit of something. That way we're all hearing and we're all listening. We're all talking. We're all understanding each other. Because understanding is everything in this world. Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. Thank you for helping us grow our channel. Even though this is not even what our channel is about. It's just fun to do this. We might not have a home tomorrow, but we might not have electricity for the next few weeks, the next few days, but it is fun to do this while you can. So, anyway, back to the big picture. We're right here in this area. So, we're looking for this because this is the eye, the diminishing eye, I guess, because it's working its way this way. If I may demonstrate. It's a Category 1, baby. So it's hitting down Fort Pierce, Palm Bay. So I hope they rolled in that spaceship. That's a question for you real quick. That question is, how come we're having such a hard time? All of a sudden, we was going to go to the moon. We've been to the moon. Moon's no big deal. Moon's no big deal. We're getting 32-mile-per-hour winds right now. That's what we're looking at. But we went to the moon. No big deal. No big deal. Been sending up space shuttles, no big deal, no big deal. Now we're sending up space shuttles to go to the moon, and we can't even get it off the ground, but we launched something to think about. So 3 to 5 foot waves, 2 to 4 foot waves, because it's just going to be just as bad. See, because that's kind of the path that they're thinking, and see is like up through here. Like that's what they're kind of guessing, up through this way. That's our whole That's the whole idea of it. It's just up through this way is where we're going to go. Let me see if I can turn this fan on just to keep the contraptions going a little bit nicer. But that's kind of the whole idea. That's what we're looking at. I want to do a sound check on that real quick, if I can, if I may demonstrate. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. 2 to 4 foot waves. That plays no effect to us. Okay, see, there's the path. So we're definitely getting that right there. So there's going to be a point that you're definitely going to want to, even if you don't watch this stream for long, even if you don't watch it for long, you're definitely going to want to check back later on in the night. You definitely want to maybe even subscribe if you want to have some fun stuff to do later on. But right now, as it stands, we are waiting and we are steadily anticipating this this hurricane coming in. It's supposed to be a tropical storm by the time it hits us. And that's what we're doing. We did check in to Disney and stuff like that. All the Disney parks and stuff like that is closed. Legoland must be dying for some money because they are planning on opening up at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Why? I don't know. I don't know why Legoland would do that. I don't know why they think that would be a cool idea or a good idea, but that's their prerogative. By 12 o'clock tomorrow, they figure the storm will be over. That rain's really picking up outside. We will go back outside and check it out here in a second. We just got to believe in ourselves. Yeah, we're starting to get more waves and waves and waves and stuff. Like I said, once it starts intensifying a little bit more, we'll walk outside and we'll look at it a little bit better. Yeah, it's really... We're getting stronger and stronger gusts. But the thing is, the reason why I'm not just like rushing out there and sitting out there, we saw one of the problems is I couldn't really talk to you guys while I was out there. So I got something that I can actually see you guys and talk to you guys while it's happening. Making sure we're good on the computer. The computer's fine. I'm just paranoid. The wind set somebody's car alarm off. That's how you know you got a big wind gust. Is when you have a huge car alarm or a car alarm start going off. I really want to cover, like I said, we're going to be doing this for a while tonight. I mean, we have a newborn, so we rarely sleep as it is, and we're just going to talk all night about it. If you feel like subscribing, subscribe. If you don't feel like subscribing, that's okay. I won't get mad at you for that. But what do you think Florida Man would do during a hurricane? Florida Man at Fort Myers Beach during a hurricane. Let's see what this got going on with it. It looks like the end of the world right there, and Homeboy is just rocking it out. Because pictures are important. I know if I was this guy, say what you want, but this guy was live streaming that right now, he'd have like 1 million views. He'd be like absolutely amazing. He's out there doing him now. Don't know how long that pier is going to be there for. What? What's going on here? I missed something, obviously. What just happened? Are people trying to swim in this? They can't be trying to swim in this. Did he fall off? Okay. That's him up there. That's him up there. I think. Is it? That's him. Oh, he's jumping off. Now, what type of nut would you have to be to jump off? He's like, there's... That is 100% a Darwin Award right there. I think you have to die, though, in order for it to be a Darwin Award. I think you actually have to die. People do some weird stuff during hurricanes, man. They think it's their time to find some fame or something like that. If you're just joining us, we are giving it some time. The wind and stuff is definitely building up. We're in the middle of the state. They're expecting in an hour or so to have about 75 mile per hour winds. We're going to go try to check that out. We're going to go outside and check it out. Hit a like button, kind of help spread the word. If you like the stuff, we are a family channel who goes around and finds fun, family-friendly things to do. And tonight's family fun activity is a hurricane. That is what we're doing. And they are looking for Florida Man. Right now, we are going over the details of what a Florida man would do if during a hurricane. And he just jumped off a pier because he thought it would be really cool to do. He was wrong. And now he's going to tell everybody, I fell off a pier, man. I thought I was going to die. And he's probably going to turn it into a testimony at church or something, because that's what people do these days. I go to church, I'm allowed to say it. People come up with weird testimonies. They get themselves in their own situation. They talk about, like, man, I was playing the knife game and I chopped my finger off, but God seen me through it and got me to the hospital. It's like, God probably shakes his head at you. Now, they're all trying. I got news for you. If you're with me and you jump off that pier like that, I am definitely not going in to get you. I'll call somebody, but they have the right not to go get you either. So they're not going to get you. If you are in Florida, let me know. Let me know what part of Florida you're in. Let me know if you're actually going to get hurricane or not. Let's do some live looks. Let's see if we can. See if anybody's streaming on the hurricanes. That's from 4 hours ago. So this is the tropical storm watch. So this is looking, we use Fox 35 for everything. So Clearmont, we're more up this way. We're going to start getting some bands. And nobody's giving us a timestamp, though, to say, like, this is a timestamp. Nobody's giving us a timestamp. But we're just north right here. You see Clearmont? We're just north of Clearmont right here. So once these bands, once this area starts really getting over onto us, we're going to start seeing some very strong winds once that orange. And I don't even know if that orange really matters as much, because that's just heavier rain. And the heavier rain's not really what causes damage and stuff here during a hurricane. What really causes damage is more of the wind and the constant rain. Heavy rain doesn't really hurt nothing. So even though it looks like on a radar this stuff looks scary, this stuff's really not the scarier stuff. It's all of this combined is what makes such an issue. You know what I mean? All this combined, all this rain, because it started raining here. We've been getting squalls and bands off of this stuff for the past 2 days. So it's definitely... That wind is definitely picking up outside. I'm going to say probably not too much longer. We're going to go outside and we're just going to take a look at it, see what's going on. Because I'm starting to hear that wind through the window. And it's going to be very intense. And that's going to be very exciting. But just looking at it right now, I keep looking back. I keep looking out the window. You guys don't really need to see me. Let's see if I can just adjust this. Let's see. If I can just adjust this. That's the. Let's remove that background. Yeah. So that's just kind of a live look outside. That way you can kind of see what's going on out there. Try to move this a little bit more forward. Just adjust it to where it's. That wind's really starting to pick up. And we'll watch that tree. As that tree starts moving a little bit more and it starts really bending over and stuff, we'll go out and try to get a real good look at it. That's kind of the idea of what we got going on right now. We're having a lot of people. People's been moving in and out. Really want to get in and get the trying to do a little bit of a split screen here so we can kind of get kind of both of what's going on outside and what's going on here. So basically this is just what we're looking at right now. We're just waiting for it to kind of move in. When you get some type of update, been getting a lot of stuff, a lot of things happening, a lot of stuff moving in, moving out. But I just want to, like, if you can actually see, like, we watched that, and all right, guys. We're just waiting for the wind and stuff to kind of build up a little bit more. We're still waiting on these bands to come in. Once these bands come in a little bit more, we're going to go outside and we're going to start looking at it. There really just ain't too much to look at right now. The wind's kind of coming down sideways, but it's not totally so epic that you're going to be blown away. It's really not noticeable in the camera. Once it becomes a little bit more noticeable, we're going to see a little bit more going on. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. We got a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff that's going to happen as the night goes on and stuff more intensifies. We're going to go out. We're going to take a look. Obviously, we're going to remain safe about it. I got 2 kids. I'm not going to try to do it. If you don't mind, hit the like button. If you can hear me, hit the like button, because if you hit the like button, more people hear about it. It helps to grow our small channel. We are a family-friendly, family-fun channel that goes around and finds fun things to do for your kids. And tonight, the fun thing to do for your kid is a hurricane. It's full of family fun, and that's what we're doing. I can hear the wind whipping outside, and that's kind of a live view of what you got going on outside. You're seeing that, and that's what we're looking at right now. And as the wind more intensifies, and as we start picking up more and more, we will take this show outside and try to take a look at what's going on, how it's happening, what's amazing about it, what's crazy about it, just pretty much all this fun stuff. But there's not too much going on. What I'm going to do right here, guys, because we are, to an extent, we are waiting for the big show. We're waiting for the top thing to happen. What I might do is I'm going to let this play. I'm going to take about a 10-15 minute break. Just let this weather come in a little bit longer, and when it comes in a little bit longer, we're gonna try to go outside and pick it up from that. So just enjoy the music. You can see the weather outside, and I'm going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Can everybody? Okay. Testing. 2, 3. Okay. I want to test that this mic is picking up how to pick up. Sounds without that. Let's see if it sounds better. Oh, I'm getting spammed in the chat. Thank you. I'm married and I have 2 kids. I think I've already found my love, but I appreciate it. Let's go out and look at the hurricane. See what we got going on out there. You on the phone?
No.
Tiffany's doing dishes. How do you like hurricanes now?
It's like a regular day now.
You just used to them?
Yeah.
But you got a lot of hurricanes in Jersey, didn't you?
A few. Hurricane Sandy was pretty bad.
Hurricane Sandy was bad?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go out and see what we got going on here. How crazy this is gonna be. We shall see. Okay. Instantly the wind is blowing very hard. Floating a disaster out here. See if I can get this close. Settings. Okay. See if that gets better. Does that do anything? No. That might do better. So basically this is, the rain's coming down pretty hard. We're gonna try to go down there. See. Device is monitoring. maybe. Oh, we don't even know what's down here. Just waiting for the hurricane to get here. Wind's consistently picking up. Hear that wind? Having a lot of mud. Let's sit out on the porch. You could have so many childproof locks.
Hi, Richard. I'm your assistant, here to help you throughout your...
It almost seems like the wind's died down.
It almost seems like the wind's like died down since like God only knows realistically how bad this hurricane is going to be. Nobody really thinks it's going to be like terrible. Nobody thinks it's going to be like the, you know, the hurricane to end all hurricanes. Oh, do we still got music playing? No. Take it up out right here. The hurricane to end all hurricanes is definitely not going to be that, but it's supposedly going to get a little bit stronger than what it is right now. It's definitely supposed to be a little bit better than how it's supposed to get a little bit more as the night rolls on, or so I'm told. But I'm not seeing nothing too spectacular to see that. I'm not, I don't know how, let's see.
The performance was enchanting, completely captivating on so many different levels.
Said Transformer Blue. Let's see. This is still over in Daytona. It looks like Daytona's getting about the worst of it. You see it back there in the corner right there. But it didn't look like they lost power or anything like that. Boom. Right over here. That's pretty much to be expected. If that's a worse, I mean, Daytona's lost its beach, but we'll see how bad the damage is once the water recedes. If the cliffs left over, that's an issue. That one building that was on there, that was structurally damaged that they've been showing over and over on the news. That's been structurally damaged since the last hurricane. So that's not like the end of the world that's happened. It wasn't like this hurricane actually caused it. It's just this hurricane made it worse. But you know how newscasts are. They got to make everything worse than what it actually is. And that's the downside to dealing with the news. They're always making things worse. If you're watching this, hit a like. Normally in a lot chipper mood, but I usually shoot vlogs in the middle of the day with my family doing fun things. But we are just covering the hurricane now because we've not shot a vlog in a while because we have a newborn and RSV's going around and we don't really want to go anywhere. But we do have new vlogs coming up pretty soon. We want to talk about some of the fun things that are going to happen in Florida for Christmas and stuff like that. That's going to be a fun vlog to watch. So definitely hit the like button on this. Kind of helps spread the word. Just get a little bit more out there. We'll see how it looks. I'm still trying to figure out the phone thing because the phone thing going live, I know I probably need a better phone. I got the XR and we're getting ready for the iPhone 14 to come in here pretty soon. That's going to be fun. Let's go back. Go back.
Again, this is the reason why Volusia County officials want everyone living along the coast just to get out. This view right here shows the powerful waves destroying the seawall in Daytona Beach. We're seeing the same sort of thing up and down the coast right now, Luann.
Yeah, we want to get
They
out
say
to
they're
Fox
seeing the same
35's
sort of
Valerie
thing,
Boyd.
but
She is
it's
joining
always
us
the
live
same
from
deal.
Daytona
Like
Beach shores. And Valerie, earlier tonight, you showed us deputies going door to door telling people to get out of their condo buildings because the sheriff says they could collapse.
Yeah, how scary is that? They're very concerned about these buildings collapsing. Right now I am Daytona Beach shores and law enforcement is out in full force. In fact, take a look over here. We have Port Orange police here outside the Pirates Cove condominium. Earlier this evening, I was on a water rescue truck. Take a look at this video. Deputies were going up and down streets, making sure no streets were flooding, making sure residents were safe.
Military trucks
In fact,
out.
we talked to some residents earlier this evening. Take a listen to what they had to say.
This is kind of surreal. I come to the beach almost every weekend, and it's really sad to see what's happening, especially after Ian. See the wind?
So back here live, you could see the wind just blowing around here off of A1A. You can see it a little bit better in the headlights of the patrol cars. Of course, deputies want to remind everyone inside, stay safe. We're going to be keeping an eye on these buildings. So far, it looks okay, and again, a curfew takes place till 7 o'clock in the morning. Back to you guys.
All right, Valerie, thank you. And you can see in Valerie's live shot right there that strong winds are moving through Volusia County right now.
Yeah, and Fox 35's Christy Kern is a little bit south of that location. She's at the Port Orange Causeway, also called the Dunlawton Bridge. So, Christy, it looks like you're getting some of that as well.
Yeah, Tom, like you just said, we just switched locations since we last talked to you. We are now at the Port Orange Causeway. It has been closed to traffic since earlier tonight, and that's because it leads to Daytona Beach Shores, where much of that area has been evacuated and deemed unsafe. Now, here where we're standing, this is the most rain that we've seen, really, since we've been out here. It just actually started to pick up just as you guys were about to talk to us. The wind, though, has also been picking up. We do have a wind speed gauge, and right now it's telling me it's just about around 10 miles per hour. Of course, we've seen this vary a lot since we've been out here. Just a couple of minutes ago, it was close to 30 miles per hour. So that just shows you just how much it's changing. The Halifax River is right below us, and that's already starting to flood onto some nearby streets and some neighborhoods. And some people we talk to are leaving their homes, and some people are staying. It really depends on who you talk to. The people who are leaving are saying that after Hurricane Ian came through just more than a month ago, they're still recovering, so they're really not willing to chance it again at this point. So, of course, we'll be out here, we'll be monitoring the situation, and we'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. Live tonight, Christy Kern, Fox 35 News.
All right, Christy, thank you so much. And the storm surge also starting to come in around Flagler County tonight.
Yeah, wind and waves have really started to escalate at Flagler Beach. Fox 35's Connor Hansen is joining us live from there tonight. So, Connor, you're in the dark. I know the pier is behind you. How's it holding up?
Well, and we're doing our best to keep that thing lit up. We've got one of our strongest lights shining out on that pier, and we've been out here all night.
They're just
now,
waiting
and
for
it
this
does
pier
seem
to
like
collapse.
The wind is picking up even more, and that's contributing to some of those big waves. And again, as I've mentioned, that pier is about 20 feet tall. If that gives you any idea of how high these waves are coming in, some look like they're about halfway up that. And when you look out at the ocean, you really only see white. That just shows how much the ocean is just churning right now. And the thing is, high tide happened at 8:30. That's a couple hours ago now, and it's going to be going out till 2 a.m. But it really doesn't seem like the water has really gone down much. We're still seeing it come all the way up to the edge of basically where the sidewalk is, splashing up above it. You can see another huge one just crashing down right now, and it's tough to see the very end of that pier because the farther you go out, the darker it is, but there are pieces of it just kind of dangling. After Hurricane Ian, the pier was left badly damaged, and they do plan to replace it. It's been closed ever since then. The big question now is, will this storm finally do it in? Right now it's been closed. They're not letting anybody out on that pier. There's actually police officers here to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, the sheriff's office also put out a warning earlier today telling people not to come out here to the barrier islands, to come take pictures, do stuff like that. We still have seen a lot of people doing that, but it's calmed down in the past hours, so it's very quiet out here. Not a lot of people on the roads on A1A where we're standing, which is a good thing, because just a little bit south of here, they have part of the road closed because of so much erosion that, again, started with Ian washing out the sand and the rock underneath the road. There's a detour, though, to get around that. On the other side of the barrier island by the intercoastal, we are seeing flooding on some of those roads, closing them down in communities. Some people starting to see water approaching their homes. Now, going back to the people out here, one thing to note, police here told us they actually got a call. Two guys were out swimming in the ocean. looking
There's
just
always
like
some
this.
type of idiot
Obviously extremely
out
unsafe. They're out
swimming
here to prevent
in the
anyone
ocean.
else from doing
Always
that.
somebody else.
Reporting live from Flagler Beach, Connor Hansen, Fox 35 News.
Are you looking to improve your memory and focus? Check this out.
Alpha brand Black Label. Go get some.
Miles per hour there. Let's head further south, Daytona Beach. This is where our Katie Garner is live, and you'll notice 43 mile per hour gusts there at this moment. Cocoa Beach, not too far off from Cape Canaveral there.
So what it looks like, if they're getting 43 mile per hour gusts, it's not quite hit us yet to start hitting the gusts yet.
Bands that are coming on shore, so up and down, that'll continue to be the story and the narrative as we head further into tonight. Stewart, Florida, you have this live look. It's dark, it's a little grainy, but you get the idea. The waves have been crashing, and you can see they kind of have been creeping up the shoreline. We're heading into low tide, but then we'll also be approaching high tide by tomorrow morning. Here we're looking at the wind gusts at 49 miles per hour. Generally speaking, the winds have been out of the northeast. Right now it's reporting that wind, sustained wind, by the way, at 42 miles per hour and out of the north. That northeasterly wind, that's what's going to be problematic as we look at the coast, and that concern for seeing both beach coastal erosion there and that push of the ocean water. Here you can see Nicole turning just offshore, and you're noticing that spin right there. That's the center of it, and you can see the intense rain bands that are starting to head into southeast Florida. We do want to take it and check in with Fox weather meteorologist Katie Garner. Katie's been camped out in Daytona Beach, and the winds are gusty, as I showed you, 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts that we've been seeing in through this area.
40, 50 mile per hour winds. It was calling for 70 mile per hour winds, but if it's only hitting 40 or 50 mile per hour winds, I don't think it's as strong as what they said it's going to be.
Able to help block it out a little bit.
I think it's a good show for people that still need to get out. I mean, again, the bridges are closed. It's going to be really hard to do, but there are people that are still here. But if you're like behind the beach, which is not where we've been all day, it is kind of a show and tell that the winds are a lot calmer here. Not always. The rain has picked up and the winds have picked up too, but the curfew was 8 p.m., so nobody is on the roads. I mean, if you look with me, you can see they are completely there. Oddly enough, the stoplights are still going in order. I might just blink them out, make everything kind of a four-way. Nobody is out here. I can tell you there are people in these hotels. We're staying at the Hard Rock in Daytona Beach, and you know, it's beachfront, but as you can see right now, we just don't feel those effects. So I do think, Marissa, as you mentioned, with it going into low tide and then high tide comes in tomorrow morning, that'll be interesting for what happens. The winds have greatly picked up around the beach areas, and it's quite dangerous, so hence why we moved. But again, right now, you would not know that if you just looked out here. It looks like a rainy night. However, we've got a long night ahead of us and a long way to go. Guys.
Yeah, and Katie, Daytona Beach in one of those areas where we could see a tornado watch come out as we see Nicole make landfall, so be safe. And, you know, we appreciate these updates as you are kind of the eyes and the ears out there bringing us the elements. All right, Katie Garner, thank you.
All right, we want to talk more about the storm surge. Look at this, a live picture from Port Canaveral. Looks like the canopy there. I'm not sure, this might be either at the cruise port or the shipping portion of Port Canaveral. It looks like the canopy is being ripped off of that. So yeah, clearly an indication of some of the gusty winds occurring along the immediate coastline. That, of course, is Port Canaveral. It's very close to Cape Canaveral, where we showed you some of those wind gusts. One that topped 70 miles per hour recorded at Cape Canaveral. We do want to talk more about the surge. We mentioned that the wind field of this storm is massive, extending almost 500 miles off to the north of that center of circulation.
So it's in Savannah too.
Per hour, or tropical storm force gusts. Because of that, we've got surge warnings, storm surge warnings, all the way up the Florida coastline, down the St. Johns River, which has been either in minor or moderate flood stage in the past week ever since Hurricane Ian passed on through. We've got storm surge warnings up in the coastal areas of Georgia and watches that extend all the way up into coastal areas of South Carolina. Also want to point out, we'll talk more about it, the storm surge warning for the Nature Coast and parts of the Big Bend region of Florida over on the Gulf side. And that has a lot to do with what we may see occur tomorrow or today, later on, moving through the day on Thursday with Nicole. So we're watching for a peak surge up the Atlantic coastline of Florida up into Georgia of 2 to as much as 5 feet of water rise. That's at high tide above normally dry ground. That's how much water could rise. Now on the westerly track, if the center of circulation of Nicole drifts back offshore in the extreme northeastern part of the Gulf of Mexico, we're not worried about it re-intensifying over that warm water or anything like that. Water has actually cooled significantly. It's about the wind direction. The counterclockwise flow around that would push more of the Gulf waters, the shallow shelf waters of the Gulf, into the Big Bend and the Nature Coast. Those are areas that are geographically favored, unfortunately, for storm surge. So that's what we're watching for with that if it takes that more westerly track. Now, we have seen us move beyond now the high tide cycle, at least in these areas. Most of those fell somewhere between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Now we have another high tide cycle coming up for those same areas from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow. And in those areas, we'll still have an onshore flow. This is specifically for Jacksonville. That's the next high tide, 11:16 a.m. That will be the one to watch with still an onshore flow in that area. That may be where we see the most significant water rise occurring for that area. We've seen earlier a water rise of about 2 feet. So that's what we're watching, particularly in Jacksonville. But there's the St. Johns River. You've got that surge that's being pushed into the river, doesn't allow the water to flow back out into the Atlantic. You got more of that freshwater flooding. That's the concern with water rise in the St. Johns River over the next 24 to 48 hours. Keep it right here on Fox Weather. Landfall imminent. That'll be occurring. We leave you with this live picture from Port Canaveral, some of the damage to that canopy occurring there. We'll have a complete update with where we stand with Hurricane Nicole in just 2 minutes. Stick with us.
Attention, this is an important message. If you suffer from
Everybody's going to commercial. Guys, this is crazy, man. It feels like just feels like just yesterday was getting up at Ian. What did I just click on?
way to make sciatic nerve pain go away.
You got 2
Call or
minutes.
Go online to order your
like that
Active
one.
Plus acupressure system for the special TV discount price of just $29.99.
Whatever you guys, when you see me look back, I'm basically looking back at that thing.
But to make this the most pain-free offer on TV, you can get
I mean, that tree's
going
gonna
to
gauge
Just
it.
pay a separate fee. Call or
That
log
tree's
on to
blowing.
buybeactiveplus.com. Order now.
All right, this is a Fox
We'll go
Weather
back
alert as we
outside if
continue
we.
to monitor the very latest with Hurricane Nicole
Oh, now
just
that's
now
going
off the
crazy.
southeastern coast of Florida. Landfall is going to be imminent within the next hour. It is getting close as
So
we
in the
continue to
next
see the
hour,
impacts out
we'll
of
probably
India,
notice a
Atlantic,
major difference.
Florida. So the palm
So what I'm
trees
going to do
shaking, the wind blowing, intensifying as we get further into the night.
is
India
I'm
Atlantic,
going
by
to
the
take
way,
a break
reporting a wind gust
for about
around
30 minutes,
70 miles
and
per
then we'll
hour.
come back.
Just a little bit of go. So we are approaching those hurricane strength wind gusts, and you're going to start to see that become a little bit
We'll come
more
back here in a second.
frequent as we get closer towards landfall, especially if you are closer towards the center and the core of Nicole there. So you'll notice these outer rain bands working their way in. Want to point out that as we see landfall get closer, we could really see some of these storms that come on shore intensify. The risk of there being some rotation within that, the Storm Prediction Center thinking about issuing a tornado watch from Space Coast all the way further up into northeast Florida here. Here is the center of Nicole. It is not too far offshore, and you're noticing that western part of the eye wall now flirting with the coast of Florida. Doppler radar showing you where you have some of the more intense rain coming in. So we have right here just to the southwest of Palm Bay. Noticing the yellow, the red, that's where you're going to see the heaviest of the rain. And you're also noticing Stephen and Weather Command showing us 37.2 miles. That is going to be the distance from the center of Nicole off from Fort Pierce. It is moving west-southwest right around 13 miles per hour. So we are getting really close, guys, to seeing that landfall in through the overnight hours. And you're also noticing that those heavier bands of rain, as I said, are working.
I get like that.
I don't think we're going to get anything too special. The wind, it's only coming at 50 miles per hour in Daytona, and it's destroying the beach slime, but the beach slime was kind of destroyed through the whole thing. I appreciate everybody watching. If you're watching this, like and subscribe. Sorry nothing fantastic happened. I will go back live